island. For some reason, our boat wrecked on this island. We have absolutely no backstory. And even more perplexing is why we washed ashore naked. Alright, we're looking a lot more covered. That's very modest. So, this is the recently updated beta of the game. I played the demo for a while before purchasing it. And it's still in early access. As you can see, there's birds just standing in the air and stuff like that. Some little glitchies and things like that, but overall I think it's a pretty fun game. So, get some wheat. Got that one. Some fibers growing over here. And climb up on the pier and talk to this old fuck. Balin. Oh, weren't quite dead then, eh? You mean you saw me? Why didn't you try to help? Lots of people wash up on this beach, miss. This here beach, miss. Can't be bothered checking on all of them. How come? Bad waters around here. No good for sailing. You look like you could use some clothes. Running around all perky like that ain't gonna do you no favors on this island. Where is here exactly? This here be Queen's Refuge, miss. Used to be a grand thing. Summer resort for the Queen. Hunting grounds for the fine folk and all that. But that was then. Now it's mostly ruins and a forest full of creatures you'd be better off avoiding. Do you have something I could wear? Sorry, miss, but you could make some yourself. Go pick some fibers and you should be able to turn it into a decent clothing. Could at least hide your privates a bit. Alright, see you around. Alright, check the journal. This is pretty much the only time it's actually necessary to check the journal. Cover yourself. Craft some clothes, 2 out of 5. So, I think we go to tab, and in here we can... Sorry, I'm gonna lower the volume on my end a little bit. We can make some cloth from those fibers, which we only have a few of, so... And to make the boots and the gloves, we need 3 cloth each. So we're going to need 1 more piece of cloth. Wheat and fibers. There we go. There's some fibers. Cloth, craft. That should be enough. Craft and craft. It said 2 out of 5. What is the other item of clothing I'm supposed to make? Let's show Balin my new rags. Check out my clothing, you old fuck. Been a bit revealing still, wouldn't you say, miss? Better than nothing, I guess. They cover the important stuff. Good enough for me. Ain't that the truth? Not sure the beast lurking around here would see it like that. You better make some weapon to defend yourself in case he ain't quick enough to get away. Go pick some branches and make a spear for yourself. Alright, see you around. Alright, we also in that chest got ourselves a stone pickaxe and a stone axe. They come apart real quickly, so we'll be making more of those. So we can usually find some sticks laying around on the ground, but chopping down a tree is a great way to get some sticks. We'll be spending a fair amount of time chopping with it. So stick. What just leveled up? I missed it. We're now at level 2. Right. Weapons, wooden spear, 4 branch. We got plenty of those. Let's go show our crooked stick to Balin. I made a spear. Better show it to Balin. So on the right-hand side of the screen there, we can see our active quests. That's why it's completely unnecessary to go back to the journal. Bit crooked, but pretty sharp, right? Not bad. Might be able to stick an eye or two with this thing. I'm getting a bit peckish. You wouldn't have anything to eat, would you? Give a girl a fish, she will eat once. Teach a girl to hunt, and all that. You better learn to do it yourself. Make a campfire and put some meat in the fuel for a nice steak. That ought to fill you right up. He gives us some good advice for getting started, but, oh, crafting plan. I shouldn't have made so much cloth. So, this thing, 15 fibers we need, basically is blueprints for literally everything in the world. So we need to collect more fibers so we can make blueprints for everything in the world. This is a waystone. There's like 9 of these on the island, and they allow you to fast travel between them. Comes in pretty handy when it's getting dark and you're far from home. Oh, where can we get more fibers? Did we get 15 yet? Not quite. Oh, I think if you cut down a cactus, they give you lots of fibers. There's more wheat here. Fiber, 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 fiber. One short. Berries are good too. It's great for a snack. Basically, there's the green line under the tools there and weapons. That's the durability of the item. And I don't want to waste any durability on things that I'm not going to use at this point. Crafting a building plan. Pretty quick. Alright, so by equipping this, we need wood and stone. I think there's lots of little pebbles down here. Wait. Whoa, yo! Stamina is pretty scarce early on, too. A rock. That's a rock. Is that a rock? That's a rock. Some rocks. Got enough rocks, but I want one extra at least. Alright, let's sit down a campfire. Right over here is fine. This is about where we're going to build our house anyway. Let's just do it right next to Balin's spot. Alright, so campfire. Booyah. Now, stone in there for grinding flour. Let's make some more flour. And some bread. We got 3 berries. Perfect. Put all our non-perishable food items in there. All right, let's show the bread to Balin. If you eat it first, then you got to make another one before the quest is complete. So, and this early experience of completing these little simple quests is pretty helpful. So, bake some bread. Feel much better now, even though I haven't eaten it yet. Well done, miss. Seems there is hope for you after all. When you get tired of bread, you can make some pies or stews. You need a cooking pot for that, however. Where do I get a cooking pot? Ain't no one gonna give you one around here. Make it yourself. On that note, you should probably learn to make a bench you can work at. Can't make fancier stuff with your hands now, can ya? Alright, so we do want a cooking pot eventually, but the quest is to build the crafting bench, so we'll do that first. We need 30 wood. Wood, did you say? Wood? I actually think this world is pretty beautiful. I know the game is kind of janky overall, but I don't know. I really enjoyed this. And the new beta update has some cool shit. There's a pretty awesome dragon. Alright, we have 30 wood. Let's set this down right next to Balin's as well. We are going to pull all this shit apart and put it back together inside our house eventually. So, crafting table. Snap for a moment here. Oh. It, told me I needed to make the bench now, but I'm a little bit short on wood still. That's weird. We are going to need lots of wood, so we're going to build a house right over here. Should be plenty of wood for the crafting table. Oh yeah. Let's see what Balin's up to. What's up, Codger? Nice day for fishing. Alright, place the table down, now what? Use it to make stuff. Why else would be littered with tools? This is exhausting. Any place I could rest for a bit? Lots of ground to sleep on. Have your pick last. Be warned though, lots of monsters would love to catch a pretty thing such as yourself asleep. Better sleep in sheltered places to avoid surprises. Let's get some rest. So I currently have survival mode turned off. If you turn on survival mode, rest and food become an absolute necessity. You have to get sleep. We're just going to sleep in Balin's bed. You have to get sleep and food regularly. Like, you'll start getting debuffs if you're not well rested, and you will literally start dying if you don't eat. But with survival mode turned off, you just get the buffs from being rested and well fed. So none of the debuffs and no potential death. So, but we are going to eat this bread that we made, and that will give us higher energy and higher energy regen. So bright and early, let's get started. I think let's just chop some more wood. Actually, let's see, what can we build right away? Because I do not want to stick with the stick as far as a weapon goes. Bow will come in handy. We can almost make that right away. And then we need some bronze to start making better weapons. Let's get the house built first, and then we'll start working on a furnace. Also, we gotta talk to Balin now that we finished the I Got Sleep quest. know, it might actually be better to make a furnace right away, because if we can start smelting metal, then we can start making better tools right away, which is kind of clutch. Because the stone axe and the stone pick, they fall apart immediately, and it's kind of pointless to like try to repair them. The cost is lesser to just go ahead and make a new one. So let's see, what does a furnace cost? 30 stone, 10 wood. And how much stone do we have? 15. So we need to chop some more rocks down. Working in a coal mine, going down, down. Working in a coal mine, whoop, I'm about to slip down. Alright. Do one more. Wait for Stam. Alright, that'll do. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Alright, let's use more fibers. Well, not always. It gets to a point. It gets to a point where you just don't need some of this stuff anymore. Alright, we have a furnace. Alright, we can turn it on and turn it off. We need coal to keep it burning. And so we want copper and we want tin in order to make bronze. So let's use the remaining stone to build a foundation. Or at least the beginnings of a foundation for our home. Alright, I think we are going to post up right about here. Real close to the waystone. And that's all I got. That's all the stone I got. That's okay. Yeah, no, it's not okay. We're gonna need to make more axes and shite. We got to do quite a bit of mining. Oh, too close to the tree. Right, that one is done. Toss it to the wind. We want to quit. We want to make sure we got enough stone on hand that we can rebuild our pickaxe periodically. First time I played through this kind of like beginning, I ended up making like 16 pickaxes, and then immediately like got the means to make a bronze one. And with the bronze one, it lasts a lot longer. But you have to use cloth and nails to make a repair kit, and the nails are also made from bronze, so It's kind of like a trade-off, you know. It's less bronze to repair it than it is to make it in the first place, and so just overall, it's more economic to. How many? 20. That's enough for 4 pickaxes, so we can start mining some metals here. And we should check how much we need. Table. And I can't remember the conversion rate from copper and tin to bronze, but we want bronze pickaxe, so we need 12 and 12. 12 bronze ingots. 12 bronze ingots. Coarse branches. And what do we got? 5 copper pieces. Crude copper ore. Here. I think the copper might be 2 to 1 on the conversion, and then it's like 2 copper, 1 tin to make bronze. There's some more copper deposits around here somewhere. Some. Sometimes when you're too close to a tree, it registers as a tree hit, which is kind of a pain. Already done. We're going to go through a few of those stone pickaxes before we get the resources we need to make a metal one. Maybe I'll make it out of metal. But yeah, I don't know. When I first started playing this game, actually the first time I downloaded the demo, I saw some of the more adult stuff, and I was like, this game is too much for me. Like, I was kind of all down with, you know, the character creator, but some of the more adult content. Let me get these yellow flowers while I'm here. They're kind of rare, and I always forget that they're right here. There's some carrots nearby too. But I ended up uninstalling the game, and then I saw one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh shit, bears! I ain't equipped to fuck with no bears yet. We're gonna give them a wide berth. But yeah, some of the stuff is just a little bit over the top for me, and by a little bit I mean a lot. So you know, if you're squeamish, this may not be the game for you, but you can't avoid that stuff. There's some quests you miss out on if you don't want to do any of the more adult content. But I don't know, I found the whole kind of like crafting aspect of it to be really satisfying and kind of addictive, you know? So that's cool. Got some coal, let's get some tin. So the tin and the copper combine to make the bronze. We can have a little sit and rejuvenate energy quicker, but when our energy is so low, it just comes back so quick that I feel like by the time I sat down, it's time to stand up again. Scooty. And time for another pickaxe. But yeah, like there's part of me that just wants to like got food going bad in my inventory. See the berry. And you know, I'm kind of cheating. Like part of me feels like I should turn survival mode on because it makes this whole opening part so much more tense. But yeah, you got to make a lot of pickaxes in the beginning just to get the supplies you need to make a better pickaxe that you don't have to keep on rebuilding and you can just repair. And by golly, does it cut through all of this metal a lot quicker. You know what? Fuck it. I'm turning survival mode on. We are already starving. All right, let's get one more of these tin deposits, and then we'll have a look at our status. Yeah, when you get the bronze pickaxe, these things break down a lot quicker. And there's some metals that are harder than others, so... Let's see, 10, we got 16. I think we want to go for 24 at least. And then we should spend a little time foraging. But yeah, sometimes I find myself just sitting for rest and looking around at the scenery, and I'd realize my energy was full and I was just sitting there. Because the world's just kind of beautiful. I mean, there's monsters. They are up there, they're over there, and then there's just wild... Oh, there's some over there too. And then there's just the wild animals that you got to deal with as well. How we doing on the tin? We just want like one more piece. So I'm going to go ahead and take down this whole deposit. And we need another pickaxe. What are we out of? Oh, fiber. Okay. Well, let's go do some foraging. We need some berries, we need some wheat. We should go make more bread. Fills us up a lot more. So I have most of the settings set up to disable some of the more adult stuff. But if you get all your settings set up the right or wrong way, depending on your point of view, bad things can happen when you get defeated by the monsters. Leave it at that. Bad things. Bad things, bad things, bad things. So, what are we looking like here? Oh, we want to make another pickaxe first and foremost. Oh shit! Something's coming. I might be able to take on this little were-rat. Let's see if we can fight him. Yeah, motherfucker. That's what happens when you mess with me. He had a buddy over here. Yeah. That's right. Alright, and we got more copper over here too, which we need. Alright, I want to get at least 24 copper, I think. As you can see, if you look at the message history up on the top right there, you can see the level growth, mining, harvesting, wood cutting, all that stuff. It all levels up as you do it. Literally everything. Just running around and jumping. Pretty much anything that uses stamina. Well, even more than that, because harvesting doesn't take any stamina. Oh, look, we got carrots. Those are a great snack. Those right here, and we'll munch some of these fuckers right now. All of them, in fact. Because we are getting dangerously low. And it's a little after 1. Lots of berries over there. I'm gonna steer clear. I think we got some werebeasts up on the mountain, and I'm going to steer clear of them. But yeah, basically I kind of did a blind playthrough of this game and kind of discovered like what does and does not work. And I think I got a good strategy for kind of streamlining a fun playthrough here. So alright, I think we are good on the metals. Let's go start smelting. It would be nice to get a few more berries. Also, Balin has a refrigerator in his little hut there, which is very useful because we don't get access to that kind of stuff till much later. And food goes bad. And it doesn't take too long. It's hours in game time, but minutes in real time, so we can hunt these deer and the rabbits and stuff like that, but it's just a real pain in the ass to try to like sneak up on them. A lot of times you get like one hit in with the spear and they run off, and then you gotta like run after them. So it's best to wait till we get more powerful weapons and bow and arrow before we start trying to work on. Alright, so copper, tin, coal, turn on. And yeah, it's 2 copper for 1 ingot. So we are going to need more copper to make this work. I mean, we can at least get the pickaxe going and then work on the hatchet later, the axe. I feel like there's one more copper deposit up in this area. The area. I feel like there's like 4 of them, and I feel like I got like 3 of them. Yeah, so in the demo, you used to be able to take, so when I killed those were-rats, I got some raw feral meat. You used to be able to just toss the meat on the fire and make a steak. Oh, what is this? Another one. Come off the mountaintop, baby? Just came from up there somewhere. I got a little too close for comfort. Alright, let's see if we can make a bronze pickaxe. Turn that off so we don't waste coal. The thing I like about this is you can store items in your crafting table. That comes in real handy. Things you don't presently need. Let's toss the cloths. Toss all these seeds. Animal hides. We're going to use sticks and rocks and woods promptly, as well as the food items. Alright, so bronze pickaxe, craft. Booyah. Alright, I'm going to drop it right there. I'm going to go ahead and use up my stone one before I switch over, just to save the... and then we need 5 more ingots. 5 more ingots. Let's, take that rotten food out of here. That's better. Now we're feeling full. Let me go ahead and drop these breads in Balin's refrigerator for now, as well as this meat. Oh. Alright. Getting a little bit late in the day. So like 6 p.m. it starts getting dark. 8 p.m. the monsters start coming out. That's kind of the way of the world here. And whenever you go to sleep, you always wake up at 8 a.m. So there's kind of this, like, 12-hour day. Which, you know, it's like that sometimes, you know? But as long as you get back to the house by 8, or whatever shelter you've built for yourself, you're safe from the monsters, and then you can, like, take care of things around the house, you know? Like, do some cooking to prepare for the next day or so, craft any other items that you need. Because there's basically a lot of resource gathering, and, I think it started with 36, I think. So we need at least... I'm going to go for 20 more copper pieces here. A lot of resource gathering, a lot of kind of like tiered equipment. Go ahead and have ourselves a little sit. You know, you figure out how to make bronze. You make bronze tools and bronze weapons. You figure out how to make steel. You make steel tools and steel weapons. And same goes for armor. You know, you start with the cloth, work your way up to leather, and you start adding metal bits to it and whatnot. So. Constantly having to upgrade the materials you're finding, and a lot of times they're so we can toss this once and for all. And now we're working with metal. Now we're working with metal. Let's see. I said I was going to go for like 20, 24 more bits of copper. Don't know if there's any more deposits without going dangerously close to the baddies. So, keep our eye on that mountain. Yeah, there's a werebeast skulking, and it looks like he's got eyes on me. He starts coming this way, I am going to run for it. Meanwhile, yeah, he's getting close. He's on his way over here. Let's see if we can... Do not want to get caught by that guy. this point in the game, he will fuck us up righteously. Okay, we got plenty of copper, I think. Let's head back over to our spot. So we can make an axe and we can start chopping down some wood more effectively. And then we can build ourselves a nice little hut. And by nice little hut, I mean like the kind of home that would cost easily $500,000 in real life, because we're apparently master builders. I got too close to the bear. Damn it. So most of the monsters and wild animals that can hurt you, they don't chase for too long. Most of them, especially if there's something else to kill nearby. All right. So hopefully this will give us enough copper to make something real. Alright, so it's 1 tin, 2 copper per bronze ingot. And if we want to make a sword, we're going to need 12 more. So we'll need at least 12 pieces of tin. And we've got enough copper. So. Alright, it's getting a wee bit late in the day. I think I'm going to chop a little bit of wood. And then we're going to hit the sack and get nice and well rested for a big day tomorrow. Grab a bite to eat before I go to sleep. If you're out in the world, 1800 hours is a good time to start heading home. I didn't actually build the bronze axe. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Start heading home around 1800 hours. Oh, shit. Right. And then be home by 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. All right, we can toss that. And now we've got the only bronze, the only axe and pick that we're going to need for a while. We are going to want to mine more because we need... Oh, the trees come down so much quicker now. Isn't that nice? The little ones are 3 hits. I think the big ones are like 6 hits. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that comes down a little bit more as you level up your woodcutting skills. It doesn't do that much as far as like the effectiveness of woodcutting, but I think it does also reduce slightly the amount of stamina it takes to do it. So that's good. And leveling everything up, whether it's running, cutting, jumping, swording, armoring, all that stuff, everything you do adds to the experience of your overall level. So it's good to do all of it. Feeling much better. What's next? Go bugger Barnabas over in Greycott. He's a decent enough fella. Now, if you can excuse me, miss, I need to catch some fish. I will. See you around, old man. Alright, we are done with Balin. We could kill him if we wanted to. And just take over his house for our own. But we're not going to do that. Let's have ourselves a little sleep. Alright. Now, I think before we try to make a sword, we're going to keep some bronze around for the sake of repair kits. Repair kits. Oh, we need to start with the nails. Never really got a feel for how long it takes for like things to grow back. It seems like trees come back about 24 hours in game after you cut them down, but the ore deposits seem like they take a little bit longer. 4 wood, 4 cloth, 5 bronze nails. So let's make some cloth first. Take a whopping 5 seconds to make. Booyah. Keep those down there. This isn't the bottom. I got more inventory down below, but since I'm usually up in here, I like to keep my repair kits right there, so it's a quick drag. And we should be good for a minute. Alright, let's start building a house. Again, I want to make a stone foundation for it. The rocks get a lot bigger when you craft with them. Like this thing right here breaks down into like 8 little pebbles. But those 8 little pebbles each make like a stone structure bigger than the rock that it originally came from. Which is fine by me. You spend enough time swinging a pickaxe in this game. Man, when we start mining steel and brimstone, that's when, and iron, that stuff. Those are hard, much harder metals. Alright. We are going to continue our little I'm going to build this high enough off the ground so I don't have grass coming through the floor. And for starters, I think 3x4 will do. Maybe we could go 4x4. Let me add one more here without... Yeah. Perfect. Alright, now we'll put over to the wood section. We want a door. The door has like a lock on it that doesn't actually like do anything. It just makes it look like the inside of the door, but it opens outward. So I always put the door on backwards so that it opens inward because that just makes sense to me. Am I weird? Or do all like external doors in homes open inward? All right. We'll do a couple walls with windows just to... Things look pretty. I like to put I can't see exactly. Yeah, flip that around. Put the windows facing towards the sun. I think the sun rises and sets in the north here. All right, we'll put windows along this. Just to let the natural light in. And I don't know if I have enough wood to complete this. How much wood do I have? 2 pieces left. This is fun, man. I love this part. This is like the shit right here. All ass ceiling. All right, how are we doing on wood? 14. Need something to stand on. All right. Back to our craftiness. Go. Good. And then from here, we can fill in the gaps with these little pieces. Aye, the sun's making it hard to see. That one there. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we ran out of wood. Still, this is plenty to give us some shelter. It's a good start on our home. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to leave that up for the time being. Let's go chop down a couple more trees. But yeah, early battle in this game is really dependent on stamina. I mean, the whole game, stamina is vital because you never really get to a point where everything on the island is no problem. And by never, I mean like within a reasonable amount of gameplay. I think on my most complete playthrough of the game, without cheating or anything like that, because there is a devs menu where you can just like make yourself level 1000. I never actually tried to go to 1000, but on my most complete play of this game, I got to level, I think, 110 or 115, and most enemies in the game were like Nothing to worry about. But there is one particular enemy in this game that just never becomes trivial. And it sucks because it's not what I would expect to be like the most powerful enemy in the game. It's not what I would want to be the most powerful enemy in the game. I'm gonna see if I can make one more of those tall guys so I can get all up in here. Just a minor complaint, but there's some human characters in the game that are like more powerful than dragons, and I thought that was kind of stupid. Like, that ain't right. And by some human characters, I mean literally every human enemy in the game is more fearsome to fight against than a fucking dragon. There's archdemons and werewolves and all manner of terrible things to battle against in this game. But watch out for the people, because they're gonna fuck you up. They're gonna fuck you up. You're gonna get knocked the fuck out. Getting the snap mode to work is sometimes a little finicky, but it worked. And not too shabby, I might say. All right, do we have enough wood left for some torches? Looks like we do. Up there. There. And take these down. All right, now we can actually see in here. We got a little bit of wood left. Let's make a comfy looking floor. It just looks like it hurts my little tootsies to walk around in here. I'm gonna make two more, please. I'm going to make like that area over there, like the kitchen and food processing area. I'm going to make this whole side of the house for like crafting and shit. And then I'm going to make over here like my bed and... Oh shit, we need to eat. And like storage for equipment and armor and stuff. Alright, so we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like that. Did I make more bread and just never grab it from the campfire? No. But we can make more bread. Keep that in the fridge along with those berries before it goes bad. The wheat goes bad too. Alright, we can start moving this stuff inside. We want a little bit more wood. See that were rat up there? See a couple of them up there. Wood cutting is now level 5. Strike while the copper's hot. We're gonna need more tin too. We didn't run out of copper. We just ran out of tin to make copper with. Just sit here with my feet inside a tree for a quick second and resume chopping. Yeah, when I first discovered the devs menu, I discovered that you can set your status and set the weather, as well as like setting the day and setting an experience amount for different skills and stuff like that, as well as like harvest quantities. So instead of getting like 4 pieces of wood, you'd get like 20 or 25 pieces of wood from a tree. And I mean like per log, not like the whole tree would give me like almost 100 wood. And you know, picking up a couple flowers off the ground, all of a sudden you've got like 200 flowers in your inventory. But like you could set certain things like the time of day, but then time still progressed normally. So when I was just kind of messing around with the devs menu, I saw, oh, you can set the weather, or oh, I could give myself like well-rested status, you know? And so I clicked on those things to try them out, and then found out the hard way, there's no getting rid of them. They are permanent, which is kind of lame. But then when the beta came out, they added achievements, and using anything from the devs menu, I think at least most things, I haven't messed around with it, disables achievements. So started a new playthrough, and that's the one that I kind of was like the most thorough with. All right, so, and this is the only thing that sucked about early game here is we're going to have to keep going to Balin's house to use his refrigerator. And I kind of hate that, but we're going to make like a little stone platform just to get into the house. All right, let's start moving our crafting items into the house. And I think we can probably leave the furnace outside. Let's go ahead and just make a hole. Oy. I am laden. Beautiful. Now let's get our stuff in here. Here. Nice little exploit. Build a furnace. Take out the coal, break down the furnace, build a new furnace, take out the coal. And let's go get our crafting table. Always remember to grab the stuff that's in it before you break it down. I think it's fixed, but in the demo, if you had like a bunch of valuable supplies over here, and then you broke down the item, those items were just gone forever. And I did it once when I spent like a couple hours mining and smelting, and it was a bit of a bummer. Crafting table. Lovely. And oh, let's put the stuff in it before we become encumbered. I think probably the backside of my crafting table is sticking out. I'm going to pull that down and do it without the snap mode on, because let's actually make it a corner table. Right there. Butamus. And let's put all our stuff back inside. So there's fiber. And leather, animal hide, and resin will eventually go to another crafting thing that we'll make soon. And I'm going to leave the flowers and the seeds. We want to get that cauldron going. Cauldron has a lot more cooking options, but campfire will do for now. All we really need to survive is the bread. Just put one stone in there. Alright. And we should probably start thinking about starting a garden too. Oh. How much fiber did we have? Empty. We can make ourselves a bed. I think. 8 wood, 10 cloth. I thought so. Alright, and this is my sleepy corner. Yeah, let's put it right there in the corner. Lovely. I think we're going to need a little bit more light in here, and since we have plenty of wood at the moment... There, that's a well-lit house. Well-lit indeed. Alright, we have a crafting table, we have a bed, we got a campfire, furnace is outside. Let's see, what is next? I believe we want to try and make a tannery. This is going to be vital for making armors. So we need wood, resin, and animal hide. See if we have enough. I think we do. Snap up again. Now these sticks are going to stick out the backside, but kind of hate how deep this particular little structure is. So. Alright, let's toss some things in here. So, animal hide and resin makes leather. So we can see right here. So, now the next thing we're going to want, which I think we need more bronze for, yes, is the armor bench and the cauldron. So, need to get some more bronze going. Because the armor bench is the only way to make armor. But, unfortunately, we still can't quite refrigerate our own food, which is shitty. do want to get a sword going. Sword is the best option for defending yourself against the more dangerous beasts in this world. Early on, when you want to be nimble and you want to be able to dodge and get away quickly, the short sword is peak. Later in the game, two-handed sword when you're ready to go full tank mode. You do want to start doing some farming here shortly. I need to make sure to make more repair kits, because here's the thing. If you run out of bronze and you run out of repair kits, then you have to make a stone axe to mine more bronze with, so. Take that one off, and then we'll take a quick rest. And speaking of quick little rest, I'm going to take a little break in real life, and we'll get back to this shortly. Let's just get a little more tin home, and then I'm going to take a little time. As you can see, the berries are starting to grow back already. Cold break apart real quick, which is nice. Used up so much energy I couldn't even jump. Oy. So that's a good start. This is first step. Get some bronze smelting. So first I want to set about 4 of them aside for hair kits. Make into nails. I need 12 for a sword. I need 10 for a bench and 5 for the pot. Let's just see if we've got enough resources here. I think we're going to have to choose between the sword and the armor bench. But I think we want to start working up some leather armor ASAP. Yeah, we're barely going to get enough for the armor bench. Not even enough for the sword. I mean, we don't have to make the pot right now, but I think I want to make the armor bench before I make the sword anyway, so. Go ahead and get those things done. Am I short? Oh, wait. Fiber and cloth. Do I have cloth? I don't have cloth. Alright, I need fiber and cloth. And I need cloth for repair kit. So let's, one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Wood and sticks here for now. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the rocks. Drop the rock, people. What the? What do I not have enough of? Oh, it takes 4 cloth per repair kit. I have enough for 1. Damn. Well, let's go get some fibers. I think now I need enough fiber that it might be worthwhile to just chop down some cacti. Cacti give you a ton of fibers, which is nice. So do these little fiber plants. They give you nothing but fiber. You know, maybe I don't need to chop down the cacti yet. We need flowers, but... some wheat. Some wheat bins. I just said I was going to take a quick break and get back to this in a little bit, but here I am going again. And this is why I like the game so much, is I find myself just constantly being like, dude, I want to get on to the next task. I want to find the next tier, you know? Like, yeah, see, that's a lot of fiber. A lot of fiber for your diet. Like, this house is just the beginning. It's going to expand. I'm gonna need room for... oh shit. I am hungry. And I am starving. And I'm not rested. Let's go sleep in our own house for the first time. Yeah, it's getting late anyway. We need to get food. Look at that beautiful moon. Look at that beautiful planet. Yeah, it's getting late. Late to be outside anyway. Alright, first of all, I want to see how much fiber I need for the workbench. Just 10 fiber. So let's make sure we leave 10 fiber behind. How much? 5 cloth? Wood, 5 branch. Here we go. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, more repair kits. Yeah, 1,000 seconds for most of the like fruits and vegetables. We're gonna make some bread right away. All right, put those in here. Take everything out of here. Break that down. Time for a copper pot. Right here in the corner. What am I? Wooden branches. Wood and branches. Go, love. You know what? How far away am I from just making one of these fire pits? Yeah, I'm just gonna make a fucking fire pit. Now that's the spot to cook in. Alright. So we got a build mode. The items we don't need back here. The items we don't need back here. Oh, I wanted to keep one rock. Damn it. Alright. This is the final tier of cooking. It doesn't do anything more than the regular copper pot overhung by 3 sticks, but look at all these cooking options. Lovely. All right, let's get some bread going. Meanwhile, we'll eat some in real life. In real life. All right. And I think we're just going to store flowers and seeds here for now until we get some farming options going. So I know it's late, but I think we can make it over to Balin's to toss some things in the fridge. Usually pretty safe around the beach area here. Cactus and bread. I mean, Balin's still out there fishing, you know? Alright. Sleepy time. First night in our new bed. Check it out.